The most disservice that you can do for yourself is have that desire that's inside of you, have the ideas constantly come to you, but you don't do anything about it. That's when there's illness, that's when there's depression, that's when there's stress, because you're not listening to yourself, you're not listening to your inner voice. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mindset Mentors podcast. I am so happy that we've been able to connect over YouTube, social media. I love it when I read your comments and your questions across the platforms. This episode is actually very special to me because it's episode 30, and we've been doing this for about 11 months now, and I've been having so much fun in the process. I've been learning about myself. I have been just building my confidence. So, thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing. About 3 years ago is when I first thought about creating a podcast. And I had no idea what that meant. I absolutely had no idea what that would look like, especially from a technical perspective. I had no experience. I didn't have any friends that were doing it, but all I had was this need to express. I had this want and this desire to share my thoughts. And after 3 years of going back and forth of, okay, I want to do it, but I don't know where to start. I want to say this, but I don't know how I'm going to be perceived if I say this. What if I say the wrong thing because I don't have enough life experience to talk about everything? I was just clouded with so much doubt. So much of worry, so afraid of what it would mean to even have a podcast. But that voice that was inside of me that kept telling me that I had to do it just kept getting louder and louder and louder until one day I just picked up my phone, turned on my computer, and I was like, boom, boom, boom. Stuff worked out, and I started recording myself, and I was like, oh my God, this feels amazing. This feels like I'm in flow state. This feels right. And that's what I want to talk about at this episode. I believe that we're all artists in some way. We all are creators in some way. It's just that sometimes we fully don't understand what it means to be an artist because we have not given the information that we need to make that decision for ourselves. Okay. So usually when people think of artists, they think of painters, paintings, or drawings and things like that. But there's actually so many different forms of art. You have, for example, the visual arts, right? So the visual arts are the painters, the drawings, the general ways of how you would think of an artist. But then there's also performing arts. Performing arts are your musicians, singers, actors, dancers, where their art is a form of movement in some way, right? They're either dancing or they're singing music or they're making music. It could really be a variety of different things that is performing arts. There's also literary art. Literary arts are your authors, writers, bloggers, people who write fiction, nonfiction, anything, any form of communication that is through writing, screenplay for movies. All of this falls under literary arts. There's also culinary arts. Culinary arts is the art of cooking, is the art of presenting food, is the art of coming up with new recipes. That's a form of art. There's also the applied arts. Applied arts are fashion designing, fashion designers, interior decorators. All of them fall under the applied arts. I would also argue that engineers fall under applied arts. Sure, there's a big part of it is science, but also the idea or the process of how an engineer creates, in my eyes, as an engineer who went through engineering school for both my bachelor's and my master's degree. I don't necessarily use it now, but that's a different story. I think engineers are also very much artists and they're also very much creators. So, why is it so important to be connected to our creator side? Why is it so important that we express ourselves through art? What is art? If we want to understand art, we have to understand what creativity is. And I believe, my personal belief is that the universe, God, your higher self, the ether, some being outside of us, bigger than us, maybe around us, we don't know, but some other being is communicating to our spirit that it needs to express something. Okay? And art is just that. Art needs to flow through you. Real, true creative people actually spend a lot of time doing nothing because they know that they can't just sit with a paper and, a pen in hand, like waiting for ideas to come. That doesn't happen. Ideas flow through you when you are actually just sometimes just doing nothing. Most important of all, when you're in the present moment. A lot of the times, my ideas come to me when I'm in the shower. And over time, I've realized that ideas come to me in the shower because it's the only time that I'm just like with myself. I'm just with myself. I don't have my phone on me. Sometimes I listen to music, sometimes I don't. But the thing is, I'm not distracted by anything else. I'm just sitting by myself and I just get all my best ideas. My Some of my best ideas also come to me when I'm cooking because I'm so focused on just cooking. Sometimes it comes to me when I'm doing laundry or folding my laundry because I'm just focused on doing that thing. So, art in essence is a creative need that the universe has and wants to express itself and wants to express itself through you. Okay? So, why is this important for us? Because when you're engaged in your art, you're actually able to just fully feel freedom. Okay? Think about the time when you were doing something that was so fun. It was so fun and you just got lost in doing it, right? Isn't that such a beautiful feeling? Like, for example, when I'm sitting down to do this, I am just in such a good mood because I'm just doing this, because I'm just expressing. Yes, I have notes and yes, I have like pointers of what I want to talk about, but when I'm speaking directly into the camera, I'm just flowing, I'm just speaking. And this gives me so much joy because I'm not looking at how much time is going by. I'm not scrolling on my phone. I'm not distracted by anything else. I'm just so focused on this. It makes me feel like I'm in the present moment. It makes me feel joyous. It makes me just feel good. Okay? For me, that this is my way of expressing myself. To you, that might be cooking. Cooking might be the place where you're just coming up with constant ideas about how to make new recipes or ideas about how to present your food. There's so much into culinary arts itself that, there's just so much that you could do. Think about when you're driving down the road, what are the thoughts that are coming to your mind? What are the ideas that are coming to your mind? The best places to get the ideas coming to you is, like I said, like in the shower, when you're doing mundane tasks like maybe driving, when you are cooking, when you are pretty much with yourself and pretty much just focus on one thing. That's when ideas flow through you. And the thing is, you can't control when ideas are going to come to you. The best way to allow ideas to flow through you is to just do what you're supposed to do with so much discipline. Sometimes that form of discipline is just making your bed every morning. It is, doing the dishes that are in the sink. It is about vacuuming your place. It can be so mundane, but you have to do the mundane and you have to build that kind of self-discipline. So then the ideas will flow through you because you're not so attached to grabbing onto those ideas. You're not sitting there with, with paper and a pen in hand, like waiting for the ideas to come. They never come that way. You can't force expression. You can't force ideas to come to you. You have to just be in the present moment, the power of now, right? You have to be in the present moment. You have to do what you're supposed to do in the present moment with intense focus, whatever that is. Like I said, cleaning your house, doing the dishes, cooking, driving down the road. Fully focus on that activity. So then you release this restriction, this block that you have, so that ideas can flow through you. Okay, so now that's step one, right? So now that you have an idea, now what do you do? Now with that idea, you have to figure out what's your way to express that idea. For me, that is through podcasting and writing and, writing my articles, podcasting, all of that. To you, like I said, it could be the culinary arts, it could be coming up with new recipes, it could be maybe hosting a dinner party for your friends and, bringing people together to put them a tasting menu together. That's something that a lot of people do these days. That could be your form of creativity. Some people like acting, whether it's drama, in theater, or whether it's in movies. A lot of people like dancing, whether it's TikTok dancing or classical forms of dancing. Dancing is an expression and that's creativity. So there's like two parts to this. One is the part where you're getting the idea, you're getting the inspiration. You don't know from where it's coming, but it's somehow finding you. And then the part two of that is figuring out what form you want to express that idea that's wanting to be expressed. Is it through dance? Is it through music? Is it through podcasting? Is it through writing? I don't know. That's on you to figure out. How do you know what that form is going to be for you? It's going to be the thing that makes you feel the most comfortable and most joyous. For example, like I said, I'm not a culinary artist or anything like that. So cooking is not a way for me to express myself. Into the camera, writing, or like social media in general, like that's something that I enjoy. It comes to me easy, comes to me naturally. So I do that. But social media and, speaking into camera, that might not be for everybody, but you might have something that's easier for you to connect to express that creativity, to express that idea that's so badly wanting to be expressed. So figure out what that thing might be for you. Honestly, I do think sports are also a form of art. You can really think of anything as a form of art, right? Like, if you really like look at it, there's so many different lenses that you can kind of identify what art is and what it means to you and build your own personal philosophy around what art is. But I personally do believe that going to the gym is also a form of art. It's like you are sculpting your body, you are working on your body, you are so focused. That's a form of art. You're moving your body. Some people really like to write stories. That is their form of expression. That is their form of creativity. So they communicate through stories. They communicate through, especially nonfiction is one way of communicating. Fiction is absolutely another way of creating. It's like taking an idea that's out here and putting it into physical form. Fashion designing, interior designing, that's a way of self-expression. What is self-expression? Like I said, that is just the ideas that are coming to you. You're meeting the idea here and you're moving it to the physical form. You're just kind of like the people in the spiritual community say, you're just a vessel to be used to express what needs to be expressed. And the thing about art is that there's no such thing as good art or bad art. Art is just art. So that's why when I come on here on this podcast and I say things, I tell you that I don't know everything. I'm just telling you what I know from my level of consciousness and my life experience. There's no right or wrong in that, right? There is just is. And so because there's no right or wrong art, there is no perfection. A lot of times as artists, as creators, we get stuck in wanting to be perfect, and that is a false illusion because perfection doesn't even exist. How can you be perfect or want to be perfect when that doesn't even exist? Because there's no good or bad anyway. The only good, if you want to be good, the only good you can do is allow yourself to express and not worry about how it's going to be perceived, how many people are going to like it, if people are going to get you backlash for it, if people are going to cancel you for it. Express what you want to express. Whatever that is, just allow it to just flow through you. The most disservice that you can do for yourself is have that desire that's inside of you, have the ideas constantly come to you, but you don't do anything about it. That's when there's illness, that's when there's depression, that's when there's stress, because you're not listening to yourself, you're not listening to your inner voice. And every time you don't listen to yourself, you don't listen to your inner voice, you are betraying yourself. And when you betray yourself, that leads to illnesses, resentment, anger, frustration, stress, all these things that you don't deserve. You're put on this earth to live a life that you love living. And the reward that you get for stepping into your creativity and the reward that you get for listening to the voice that's up there, the voice that's in here, and following through with discipline and showing up for yourself and honoring that voice and honoring life, the reward that you get for that is this feeling of being taken care of. It's a feeling of, I know that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and I am taken care of for this. And the people that you need to meet along that journey to help you to do that expression will just find you. It's insane. When I first started my content creator journey, I wasn't podcasting. I was definitely going through a very big healing journey. And I wanted to kind of find my place as a creator, as a creative to express. And the way that I did that is that at the time, 5 years ago when I started, I started traveling a lot. I was pretty much living like a digital nomad lifestyle, kind of 50% in my home in New Jersey and then 50% in like traveling. It was so much fun. It was so much healing. And along that path, I was posting so much of travel content where I was just creating content. I was writing about the places that I was going to. I was writing about the things to do there. I was giving out itineraries for people, free itineraries. And I was just being so creative and just being so open with what I was posting. Although in the beginning, when I first started posting travel content, I was really anxious. I would think about like who's gonna see this? How many likes am I gonna get? This is good enough to post. It was only until I allowed myself to just post whatever I wanted to post, I was able to get the confidence to do this podcast. Truly. And that the travel content creator journey has been so amazing for me in building my confidence and just understanding how I work as a creative to come out here and start this podcast. And like I said, this is where I'm at now. I don't know if this is going to be something I do forever, but right now, this is what feels the most right to me. It feels the most authentic to me. It makes me feel it good on the inside. I have a sense of peace in my heart. And I'm only able to do this because I'm able to allow that creative energy to flow through me. And you also have that within you. You have a creative power within you. Start with that voice, okay? The voice usually starts out as a little whisper. It'll be, oh, maybe I should try this. Maybe I could learn about this. That's interesting. Let me see what I can learn about that. Maybe I could just write this little thing. It's going to be subtle, it's going to be small, but that small spark of idea is going to be filled with excitement. And I hope you were able to get something out of this. I highly encourage you to read The Artist's Way. If you don't know, The Artist's Way is a book written by Julia Cameron. She is amazing. The book Artist's Way has inspired so many amazing people. It inspired Elizabeth Gilbert, who is the author of Eat, Pray, Love, which is such an amazing book. And it's inspired so many other people. Most recently, it's inspired Doechii, who's the female rapper who sang the Anxiety song, which is so cool. And she won a Grammy. Amazing. And I'm not telling you to read The Artist's Way so then you could be famous and rich, right? I'm telling you to read The Artist's Way because it just kind of unblocks you and you don't know what's going to come out of it. That's the beauty of The Artist's Way. You can get it from the link in the description of this video if you want to get it. It's a 12-week program. It's $11. You just kind of go from week 1, 2, 3, 4. There's different concepts within the book. Each concept, each week, you learn to unblock a different part of yourself so then your creativity can flow more through you. The only thing with The Artist's Way is that you have to have intense amount of self-discipline. The big part of the 12-week program is that you are going to have to journal every single morning, 3 pages, just stream of consciousness. That's how you connect with yourself to put your ideas to physical form. Just write it down. The other part of it is going on artist dates, which is basically taking yourself out on a date just to get to know yourself and just hang out with yourself. A lot of people just don't have the time to do that. That's been easy for me because I live by myself and I feel like I'm dating myself 24/7. But if you don't live by yourself and you have somebody, I think getting some alone time to yourself is incredibly important in connecting with your creator side and connecting with yourself. So The Artist Way is a great program. I think everybody should do it. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Shivani. Her Instagram is Live with Shiv. She was the one who inspired me and told me about The Artist Way. So you can go definitely check her out on Instagram. She built her own fashion brand as a result of reading The Artist's Way, which is amazing. And just allow yourself to be, just allow yourself to be. I know not everybody can be a full-time artist. I understand that. I understand that not everybody can give all the time that they want towards their art. I get it. But I 100% believe that even if you can find half an hour out of your day to connect with your art, your way of expressing yourself. And also, expressing yourself is not necessarily expressing yourself to the world. It could just be that you want to express yourself in art form and put that in your drawer. Not everybody is supposed to be loud with their art either. It's just something that I think we should all engage in more. And I think there's a lot for us to benefit the more we tap into our creativity. With that, I hope you were able to get something out of this episode. If you enjoyed this video or you got something out of it, just like and subscribe to me on YouTube. Also connect with me on social media. All of that is in the description of this video. And I want to thank you guys so much. And I hope this was able to spark something, some excitement into you to start your own creator journey. Until next time, bye guys.